Welcome everybody. It is Crypto Moose and it's time to get loose. Mitchell Bouchard, your crypto and NFT investor. What we're going to do on this episode is teach you how to navigate the crypto space. So if you get something out of this, please, if you can so kindly, smash a like button, subscribe, and if you have any questions, comment them down below and check out the link tree. So there you can save up to 25% off the hardware wallets that we have listed in the link tree. So we are going to go on Canva. I've created somewhat of, I guess it would be an analogy. But what I want to do is talk about how to navigate the crypto space. So depending on where you're at, especially as a beginner, it can be challenging, right? Like, how do you get into crypto? Where should I be going? And I want to talk about that in this video. So let's dive right into it. So this is the channel. If you guys want to view more content, just check it out. Use this as your library. You could type in, for example, Meld, Copy, and find videos on different topics related to crypto. So this is what I've created. And again, what we're going to do is go through an analogy of you driving. So when you're starting out in crypto, you're gonna be at a starting point that's gonna be different than where I'm at or someone else who's been in the space. So let's dive right into it. So perhaps we can go full screen as well. So actually we'll zoom in as well here. I'll put me in the corner. So the first slide in the top left here, you can see a car. All right. So if you look at the whole picture here, we'll zoom in a touch. You've got this car, and this is going to represent you or a beginner. So basically someone who's been in the space for, let's say, less than a month or up to 3 months. So this is you, right? And I'm talking to beginners, right? So someone who's been in the space for 1 to 3 months, and this is you operating a vehicle, right? So getting into the crypto space, the analogy is driving a car. Okay, so the first thing is you eventually learn pretty quickly how to buy crypto. So this is you starting the car, right? So the first thing is buying crypto. And typically how I do it today even is going to be using the Crypto.com app. So on your phone, you guys can download the Crypto.com app. I don't even have an affiliate link for it, I don't believe. But regardless, download an app, get crypto. I still do it today. But that's typically where a lot of you start, right? And by the end of this video, I kind of want to give you some ideas or, some insight as to like where you can go in the future. So what this video is all about is to show you, a little bit of reality of how the crypto space works as an investor. So nothing should be taken as financial advice. I'm just doing an analogy, right? I'm sharing with you what I've learned from being in the space as a beginner to where I'm now, what's it been like 3 to 5 years in the space, okay? So you got buying crypto, and then next you start learning the rules, the basics. So this is you like putting on your seatbelt. So again, you can imagine that you start the car, you start your crypto journey, and then now you put on your seatbelt, right? You have to do that before you start going, and you're learning the rules. What is market cap? So by the way, if you're someone who hasn't even really started in crypto, or you have been in it for a couple months, or you've been in it for a while, actually, you could even take some notes here. So this is me thinking out loud and visually. So using a centralized exchange, now you're starting to drive the car, right? You're getting into the space. You're using a centralized exchange, and we'll get into what that means. Basically, it's a centralized place where you can buy crypto, you can trade, do your swaps, etc. Then you have your time researching. So you're probably watching Crypto Moose, you're probably getting loose, and that's where a lot of this comes into play, right? You start learning about what is a wallet, how do I send, how do I receive, how do I do all those things. So that is you learning directions. You can imagine you're in the car and you're learning, hey, like, how do I turn right? What is this stop sign, right? So just understand that all of this is a process. So how to navigate the crypto space, it's about experiencing these things. So experiencing these things. So the goal of this video really is, you can learn by doing, but then you can also learn by the other mistakes of other people. So, for example, a lot of you would know that, I guess the car analogy that, you have to look both ways before you cross a road. Most of you, I assume, you were never hit by a car, but somehow you know that because it's based off of someone else's mistake, right? So that's something to think about. All right. So hopefully you've already bought some crypto. You've learned the rules, or you're still learning. And then you're using a centralized exchange, and then you are learning your direction. So in order to get all the way over here, which we'll talk about, okay, to your destination, because you're at the starting point, you cannot miss anything here. Okay, so you have to start from the beginning, right? Other than that, you've got limited money to invest, so no gas. So, for example, some of you may just have $5 or some loose change. It's not easy, and we'll get into that and what that means. So, most of you, I assume you're probably at the midway point in your crypto investing journey, if that's what you want to call it. We're going to call it a driving destination. So, we're going to say this is you 3 to 6 months in, midway point. Now you are at a point where you're driving, you're kind of all over the place. You've created hot wallet. So you've now created a wallet where you own your seed phrase, which is great. So for example, if you're in a Cardano, you've set up a wallet where you're using a NAMI, and now you can recover your wallet. It's not the best, but you own your keys. Right now your keys, not your cheese. So that's you learning the speed limits as you're driving. Maybe you're getting pulled over and you're learning I can go this fast here. That's what it's like, right? Panic selling, right? So you're pumping the brakes, the weather's coming in, and you got to learn to be calm. That's a big one. So a lot of you're into crypto, you buy high, sell low, price starts going up, you buy high, sell low. It should be the opposite. You want to buy when others are fearful. That's something that you learn over time too. Other than that, you are probably buying a lot of meme coins. So you're getting speeding tickets, trying to force some analogies there. But even visually here, I got a Dogecoin stack. You got some ETH. Let's say you're probably getting to the range where you're into like $1,000. Some of you maybe more. We all have different incomes, different things like that. It depends on how big you think, right? But the more you're in the space, the more you can realize and get better over time. So I've been in every one of these phases. That's why I'm going through it in this video. So comment down below. What are your thoughts on all this? So in the midway point, there's also things that, for example, getting scammed, right? So not changing your oil. So these are things that you learn while doing, right? For most people that I know that have lost money in crypto, they did not do the simple things because they didn't think it was a big deal, or they just didn't know what they were doing, right? So that's kind of like the midpoint. And eventually you get to your destination, and this is not the end all, but let's say, you got to have the Bitcoin Lambo. So you're less confused here, right? And what you have is that you are now using cold storage. So you've got something like a Ledger, you got a Tangem, you've got a way in which your crypto is not on a centralized exchange, but you have it on cold storage, and you have it offline. So it's even an advancement from just hot wallet. Okay, so you're parking your car in a garage, right? So that's one way to think about it. If you're using a hot wallet, it's not the best. It's kind of like your car's sitting outside. So I think I had the analogy here: driving strangers around, you're being dangerous, right? So you're listening to everybody, and now you're using cold storage. You're being more responsible. You're using decentralized applications, so you can now drive faster. You cannot do that when you first begin, right? When you're first learning, you're trying to figure things out. Then you're in this confusion phase, and hopefully you will all get to the point where, through watching the channel, whatnot, that you are using cold storage. You're using a Trezor, Ledger, Tangem, whatever it may be. And You own a lot of layer ones because you realize that the meme tokens, they're not the best long-term idea. So these are ideas that I'm getting at, things that I've learned personally. You guys should write some of this down if you want to. So responsible driver, right? You become a better driver. Not saying that if you're driving a Lamborghini, you're a responsible driver, but you've built your way up. It's not your first car, I would assume. So then you're using a VPN, so you're vetting passengers. So compared to before, you're driving people around in the sense that you're listening to everything. You're just buying tokens because this person said that, or Crypto Moose talked about these tokens. I always tell you guys, you need to research every project yourself. But now you've got more conviction over your picks, okay? So especially for those that are new, you want to not just be like, oh, Alex Becker talked about this, or BitBoy was talking about this, or Crypto Moose was talking about this. It's more like, okay, I researched this. This is one of my winners. For me, it's Kopi. I like Kopi, and I get it. Avoiding scams. So avoiding bad roads. You don't go down the same road, right? So you guys keep buying these memes, or you keep buying this token, and you're like, man, I'm tired of this crappy result. So that's how you get to the Lambo phase, right? That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it the mom's car phase. And then you've got the confusion phase where you're just figuring out life, how to drive, where to go. And now you've got your senses working, right? And then the other one is invest in new opportunities. So you now have some money to invest in new opportunities because you've had some gains. You're no longer buying at the top, selling at the bottom. You're buying at the bottom, like what I did, right? Like what we've done. If you've been watching this channel for a year, Bitcoin was at Bitcoin was at 16,000. Now we're at like almost 70 USD. At the beginning, Meld was a penny. Kopi was like a penny or two. Now we're at 8-9 cents. So some of you now have some extra capital you can deploy into new opportunities because you now have that macro perspective. You can go in on the micro and take on those opportunities. So, if you're here mentally, if you're still in this car, you're not going to have the Lambo portfolio. You can only get to 10,000 plus typically. Okay, not for certain. You can get lucky, but most people that have 10,000 in crypto, they understand these things because they've gone through it. So really, how to navigate the space I would add to this is, and again, it's all an analogy. Comment down below what you think. But what I've learned the most is that it's really experience, and you don't know it until you start driving. So I want to encourage you all to get behind the wheel and begin to drive, right? So you can go through these things. Yes, I'm telling you now, learn from this video. If you get it, great. If you don't, get behind the wheel, start driving, right? Don't be afraid. So I've been thinking about this quote. It's, don't wish for better winds, wish for the wisdom to cast a better sail. Jim Rohn, famous motivational type speaker. But I created this. I made all this like tonight. And I kind of put a twist, and it's don't wish for an easier market, wish for the wisdom to drive the current roads. Because quite frankly, the crypto roads are not going to get easier. You're going to see another collapse of a centralized exchange. You're going to see tokens that drop 90%. You're going to experience a bear market if you're in the space enough. So understand that if you are driving this car, okay, so I'll even get out of this thing here. But if you are behind the wheel, right? If you're behind the wheel and you're driving, you are going to experience potholes, okay? You're going to be distracted by, the news, by people pinning you and being like, did you buy this token? Why aren't you in Doge? The market's going to go up. It's going to rain. You're going to have breaking news because, quite frankly, there's a 2024 election. I haven't been paying attention too much to, the presidency or whatever it's going to be. It doesn't matter to me as much. Like, you're going to learn these things, right? That, you can only control so much. So whether you're ideologically driven or, you're someone who's on the left or right, it's like crypto doesn't matter. The market is the market is the market, right? So just do not be distracted by what's going on the television. Okay? I'm just giving you guys some good advice. So eventually as you drive, you're going to win, right? You're going to see the sunshine. But this is going to take time, right? So again, do not wish for an easier market. Wish for the wisdom to drive the current roads. And the roads, they're going to be sunny some days. They're going to be tough some days, right? Right now, if we take a look at the market, we are March 11th of 2024. And right now, the market, I would say last month, it's been great. But we do not know. We do not know what next week will be like. Floki's up 92%. Render, I put a position here, just so you guys know. Just some extra stuff. This is a pretty interesting project, actually, because, anyways, we'll talk about it in a different video. But really just helping out with the AI situation in GPUs. But look at this. Like, you cannot seize these opportunities unless you do the proper research, unless you've been in the market for a while and to understand. We are 36 days away from the halving. And what I encourage you is to just understand that it does take time. So comment down below your thoughts and feelings. In my opinion, this is some insight on how to navigate the crypto market, how to navigate the crypto future for the next 4 to 48 years. So I hope this helps. So guys, take some notes, rewatch the video. Let me know if you enjoy this kind of video. I can do more like it. Check out the link tree. You guys can also pick up a Loose Moose NFT. It's the official channel NFT on JPEG Store, 9 ADA. And pick up a hardware wallet. Save up to 25% off. You can get a Tangem or a Trezor. Those are the main ones. Use coupon code MOOSE. Save 10%. Currently, you get the white version too. And we also have online courses. So we have a free Cardano mini course. Be willing to drive, to make mistakes. But learn quick. For 10, 20 bucks, you can take an online course. And follow me on socials. So that being said, everybody, the moose is loose. We'll see you in the next one.